If you haven't seen it before, there's some pretty cool interaction between InDesign CS2 and Photoshop CS2. Here's a layout that I've just thrown together. It's got some images on it. As you can see, this image down in the corner here is a Photoshop document. If I hold down Command Option or Control Alt and double click, it automatically launches into Photoshop for me. And as you can see, all we have in here is basically I used extract and then hid the background layer. So that's how we're getting this see-through area. We didn't have to add any other functions to it. So just for the sake of argument, so you can show how easy this is, if I was to add a hue saturation adjustment layer and just change the hue slightly. We want her to be looking a little more yellowish like that. I don't know why, but we do. And let's saturate her too, just so we can say, sure, that looks good. Then all I have to do is save this and close it. And when we go back to InDesign, you see how the change automatically updated. So we didn't have to do anything else. It was like a live link. Now, this particular one here is very similar, with one very important difference. Let me Command Option or Control Alt double click on it first of all to go back to Photoshop. Now the difference in this case is there's quite a few more layers, and this one actually has layer comp set up so that I can actually change the look of the image just by picking a different layer comp. Now I'm going to just close this without saving it. Go back to InDesign. So I can show you one of the new features in InDesign CS2, which is really nice, is a command called Object Layer Options. And this dialog box does a couple of things for me. First of all, it shows me all the layers that are actually in the PSD file. So if I simply wanted to show a different layer, for example, here's a layer that will change the color of the background to gold, then I simply choose that color and it updates for me automatically. So if you had multiple layers, you could choose to show and hide them. The other thing it does is it uses those layer comps that we showed a moment ago. Now they're visible in here. So if I want to use the blue background version, I just choose that and it updates automatically. So think about the options. I can either Command Option or Control Alt double click to launch me back to Photoshop. I can use the built-in layers from this list, or I can use layer comps if I have them. So some pretty cool ways of updating. Now that I've made that change, let's try and match it up a little bit. So we'll select this background right here, and we'll just say I want it to be the same as this color of blue right here. So we can see how easy that is to make changes on the fly without necessarily having to go back to Photoshop. Take advantage of the interaction between InDesign and Photoshop. Hey, this is Dave Cross coming to you this time around right from InDesign. What a great feature it is to use InDesign and Photoshop together like that. Well, take care. We'll see you next time.